How we doing, Red Sox Nation? Sox pull out one on Sunday in Toronto to stave off the sweep and halt their losing streak. We'll talk all about that the previous week and the week coming up. This week on Red Sox Wrap 360.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
We can do this until we pass out.
Oh, yeah. Can anybody tell that Benny freaking Jam picked the music this week? Oh, that's a little shout out to JBJ for his great hitting streak. 29 games, ain't nothing to shake a stick at. Alongside Ben Fay and former Astros farmhand Bobby DeMuro, I'm Mike Conley. This is another edition of AfterBuzz's TV Red Sox Wrap 360. Welcome back, Bobby.
Good to be here.
Do you want to start out and get clean here on the Red Sox show? This is your first appearance this season. Get clean with just a lot of apologies about Jackie Bradley Jr.
No, I don't.
How you say that he's just a quadruple A player, and now the guy is second in the AL in batting.
That's great. They've been playing for 6 weeks.
Come on.
Show me 600 plate appearances. If he's second in the AL in batting after 600 plate appearances, and then he does it again next year, then I'll pay attention to Jackie Bradley as a long-term solution.
Okay.
But
I'll give you 150 plate appearances from August of 15.
Oh, here we go.
And then,
two seasons, 6 months off. Here we go. A bad team with nothing to play for. Guys getting a lot of fastballs because it don't matter. Yeah, great. Come on.
I mean,
look,
at least fake it.
29 game hitting streak's
nice
fine.
About the Red Sox.
That's fun. Do you remember Bo Hart or Chris Shelton? Do you remember those names? Bo Hart with the Cardinals, Chris Shelton with the Tigers.
Bo Hart the wrestler?
No, Bo Hart the second baseman. Both those guys had amazing years coming out of nowhere, and Bradley is more of a prospect than those dudes were. They each had an amazing first year, full year coming out of nowhere, and everybody said, wait a second, these guys are players. And then what'd they do after that? Nothing. Like, this is a hard game. I want to see you do it for a couple of years, and I definitely want to see him do it all 600, 700 plate appearances this year.
Right.
If he hits, I'll go on record right now. If he hits 285, gets on base at about a 350 clip at the end of the year this year, and has more or less played every day, then I will meet you in the middle, and I will say I was wrong about Jackie Bradley Jr.
I mean, then he's going to be commanding about $18 million a year if he puts up those types of
Sure,
numbers.
with the defense he plays.
Gold Star,
Yeah.
Gold Glove.
Nobody's
center
ever
field.
doubted the defense, and that's the thing. He could hit 230 and play for a long time just off the defense that he plays. I don't think you're going to see him get another 29 game hitting streak ever.
No, well, the guy that I think, if anybody's going to make a run at DiMaggio's streak on the Red Sox, how's that currently constituted, I would say it'd have to be Xander Bogaerts, who, coincidentally, on Sunday, extended his hitting streak to 22 games.
Put that into context, though. Jackie Bradley finishes at 29. That's 27 games short of Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah.
I mean, he is halfway there, and he's been hitting for an eternity. That streak, I don't think will ever be broken, especially not the way baseball is right now.
You're going to need 57 games to get it done.
It's just never going to happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to, start the show off on a diatribe of how you don't believe in Jackie Bradley. So
I don't.
I mean,
because
it's rose-colored glasses. We're looking at the Red Sox this year to this point. I mean, they're absolutely raking. The pitching shows signs of coming around now and again, but they were hurting in Toronto this weekend. But it was lucky that old faithful Dustin Pedroia came through with that 2-run double in the 11th.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And to give them the 5-3 victory, that was good. And for David Price, his return to Toronto, he was actually kind of well received. He got a nice hand.
Yeah, he did.
No booze. Pretty impressive.
I mean, Canadians are polite, but
That's true.
Also, they love when David Price comes to town because that means Jose is probably going to hit one out. So,
Wow. Did he go deep today?
yeah, right. There was a stat that was saying Jose Bautista's hit more home runs off David Price than any other pitcher.
wow.
Yeah, I think it's six home runs against David Price in his career.
Oof.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I guess when you face him all the time, because he was with the Blue Jays and Price was with the Rays, so you face him a ton.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Pretty
still,
crazy, but-
still.
yeah.
I mean,
Especially the way they make the schedules now, when you're playing your
Yeah.
division foes 19 times, it's going to be somebody that was in your division. Yeah, I mean, Price still not that impressive today. I mean, he was okay. I mean, he went 6 and gave up 2 runs.
I think and
You saw something a little today. And
I did, yeah, and we were kind of watching his delivery. You know, the commentator's been paying close attention to where his glove has been during his windup, and he was keeping the glove high on his regular pitches, but then when he was working from the stretch, he was keeping the glove low, and that led to Encarnacion hitting one out. So maybe we still have some work to do on that delivery, and everything's not ironed out like we thought it was quite yet.
Bobby, you can probably speak to this being a former pitcher. I don't know if you caught the smartest man in baseball, Dustin Pedroia, a couple weeks ago, found a little David Price wasn't really going too well. And he's like, hey, I found something in your windup where your hands are lower, like close to your knee, whereas last year it was a little higher. And it was kind of like on a string, almost like his leg went as high as his hands were going.
Yeah.
And is there something with that where that should be in straight proportion? Is it like a string? Or
No, I mean, not necessarily.
Whatever's comfortable for you.
Every guy's different. I think the interesting thing is if Pedroia found that, because Price, all these guys watch a ton of video, and if Price didn't see it, and the pitching coach didn't see it, and the development coordinators didn't see it, and the roving pitching guys didn't see it, and the front office guys didn't see it, or they all saw it and they didn't think it was important.
Right.
I think that's more of a kind of a head scratcher than it is to do whatever change. A guy like Price, I mean, all these guys tinker all the time. Like you look at like a Kershaw or somebody, all these guys make little changes all the time. It's just like hitters changing their swings all the time. They do little things.
Right.
It's the fact that this one was so public and Pedroia talked about it is kind of a weird wrinkle.
You remember when we were doing shows last year and he talked to Napoli and got him out of his funk.
But that's hitters. That's hitter to hitter.
Yeah.
This is a second baseman to a pitcher being like, hey, you should set your hands higher. It's like, well, wait a second. How did nobody on the pitching side notice that? You know? That's I don't know if that's like a concern or just a quirky thing or whatever, but I'd be a little like, that's just a head scratcher to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you're asking for Kyle Willis's job essentially right now. You're just coming in here in your first show and just friggin' lampooning everybody. A guy that's the second best hitter in the American League. And like, and now the coaching staff. Nobody's safe.
I'm just saying.
Ridiculous. Welcome back, pal. Wow.
I think you should just take Price out of the rotation, put Buchholz back in until Price gets right.
Oof. Right.
Is that too far? That's too far.
Because I mean, 31 million. You go ahead and you're in the rotation. That's 30 starts. No questions asked.
The other thing too, I mean, and I know that the stakes are so high when you make that much money, but 6 innings, 2 runs, that's kind of like, okay, that's your ace. It's the bare minimum maybe when you're paying him that much. You want to go a little deeper. 2 runs is fine. But like, if you leave a game in the worst case scenario at that point, you're down 2-0 and you're absolutely within striking distance. Somebody just get hit with a pitch and then David Ortiz or somebody do what he does and it's a tie game.
Right.
So, on the road against what should be a pretty good team in Toronto, like I don't think you can be too pissed off about 6-2.
Yeah.
Now you'd like him to go a little bit deeper, ideally, because some of your other guys aren't going to go deep. But at the end of the day, if that's the minimum you get.
Yeah, but I mean, he is this guy we want to be a stopper on our team because, I mean, you look at the rest of the rotation, none of those guys has ever thrown 200 innings, and we're lucky if any of them get to 180, to be quite honest. And, so there's going to be, the bullpen's going to be working a lot of those times, so it would be nice to have a $31 million a year stopper be able to eat up 7 or 8 innings each time out. But anyways, we won't lambaste that. I think we're going to introduce like a new segment on the show this week where we bring in a fan of one of the teams that the Red Sox took a series from this week, and this is the Rockies. So we'll just like, all right, let's lambaste the enemy, we'll just have you come in and no, I think it's going to be really nice, but we did take 2 out of 3 from you. That being said, your boys did rise up and take the 3rd game. You guys are having a pretty good year this year. I mean,
the Rockies are
on that 500.
The Rockies are not going to be in it at the end of the day, but they're
true.
Better than anyone thinks they are. And my God, do they have pitchers coming? John Gray, that 3rd day against you guys, finally looked like what he should have looked like and what they want. I think if you're the Red Sox, though, you look at a series like that and you look at it and say, oh, it's the Rockies. Why didn't you sweep? You should have taken the 3rd game. You killed them on the first 2. And that's true, but this is a little bit better team than the Reds or the Braves or the Brewers or the Padres in their own division. So anytime you take 2 out of 3 at home, the Red Sox are 30-20 right now. I guess 31-20. No, 30-20 after today.
Yeah.
That's you're playing 600 ball. You play 600 ball a year, you're going to win what, 94 games or something, 96
Right.
games. That's a great team. You
Yeah.
can't take 3 out of 3 from everybody. We talk about sample size and expectations all last year on this show. I felt like you can't take 3 out of 3 from everybody. When you look at the week as a whole, and you're at home and you take 2 out of 3, and then you're on the road and you get 1, but it's a decent team in the division. You just keep kicking the ball down the court, right?
Right.
You never get swept. You don't get embarrassed. You don't have a 1-5 week. And then next week you try to say, let's win 4 games. Let's win 5 games, and let's build off that.
That's it.
So-
and that's where the Sox faltered last year, because their bad weeks were really bad, and their bad weeks this week are like 3 in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and so that's good, as was this week.
And with the extra playoff spots, with all the extra playoff spots, if you go 3-3 every single week and you are 81-81 at the end of the year, you have a very good shot of being in it. Now, last year in the NL, when the Pirates and Cubs were incredible and wild cards are getting 94 wins and getting a wild card, that was a fluke. Like, that was a different kind of a year. But if you're winning 81, 82 games, chances are you're probably going to be in the hunt.
Yeah.
At least in the last
You'll be in the hunt.
in the last couple weeks, if you're about 500 and you turn it on at the right time in September, anything can happen.
That's precisely why they added that
Yeah.
second wild card, and the wild cards in general.
I mean, but I don't think we're in any worry of making the playoffs at this point. I mean, we're leading the AL right now, so
I would
mean,
worry.
to say that we're going to scrape into the playoffs through the wild card is
I
Well-
would worry until August about 20th.
Yeah.
Unless
I-
you have a massive lead. It just too much can happen.
I'm not talking playoffs at all.
Yeah.
I mean, you know me, I don't even like to look at the standings till August 1st. So.
If you have an 0-6 week next week and you're 30-26, that's a very different look than 30-20. It's
Yeah,
at
definitely.
this point it's, I mean, yeah, you're getting off right, and when you're 30-20 right now and you look at everybody else in the division and the league, you're like, this feels pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, we're in a good spot. But I think you definitely are like, we need to, I mean, in the Red Sox mind, if they believe that they are playoff contenders, which they should believe, you got to win 60 more games.
Yeah.
That's, I think, what your goal is.
Definitely. And I think that also, like, people are kind of, on the Red Sox big time just because the other teams didn't get off to greatest start, and so that's why everybody's like talking on. But if you look now, they're starting to right the ship a little bit. So it's like, the Red Sox and Baltimore seem to be going back and forth all the time. But now you have like Toronto, who's playing a little bit better. They weren't hitting, which you knew was going to turn around, but they are getting pretty good pitching, and that's coming. And so they're like sniffing that 500 mark, as are the Yankees, who are playing better since Chapman's been back. So, this is a team, in a division we were looking at the beginning of the season that it's going to be a black and blue division, and all these teams are going to be over 500, and it's going to be a free-for-all, And I still think that's going to be the case in this division, despite the early woes. That's why you just can't count chickens, And there's going to be some tough stretches in the schedule the Sox are going to go through that you just have to...
This division and the AL Central are two, to me, that are like, everybody could potentially be a contender if things fall the right way, and the contender might win 85 games and win the division.
Right.
Like, it's that kind of a thing. And it's just as likely that you boat race and somebody wins 98 and runs it going away.
Right.
But those two divisions are really, like, the parity in those two divisions is interesting.
Did you want to know my season opening prediction, by the way?
Yeah.
On Red Sox wins, because I know you like to give me a hard
You
time
still owe
about
me
that.
lunch for last year when
That's
you thought
not
they were going to
true.
win.
That's not true. Those of you that saw us at Zanku Chicken, no. That is
Oh,
not
that's
true.
right. Okay, you're right. I forgot about that.
What about mad props of Zanku? I haven't even mentioned AfterBuzz yet. Kevin's going to be all over me. We're coming to you from the lovely AfterBuzz studios, by the way, here in lovely North Hollywood. What's up? But I'm just thinking of
What was
Zanku
his
Chicken
prediction?
right now.
Was it
Oh
mad?
yeah, it was 91 wins.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Okay.
I'm looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, you are. 600
It's
ball
early.
is 94 or whatever. I mean, I can't do the math in my head, but it's something like 94, 96.
Yeah, somewhere
Okay.
in there.
I
somewhere
think I
in
took
there.
the
So,
over on 91.
I don't
I don't
think
think
you did.
I don't think I gave you an exact.
I
though.
I think you took, because we were talking about the total, and I think the total at the beginning of the season was 87 wins for the Red
Okay,
Sox.
okay.
And I took the over, went ahead, went through a prediction. I think you took the over 87 too.
Yeah.
The only one who took under was Dennis. He was, he's a pessimist. What are you gonna say? He's from Australia.
Ouch.
So Rockies, that was nice. 2 out of 3 from them. It would have been nice to get 2 out of 3 in Toronto, and we've been dancing around a little bit. That was a heartbreaker Saturday night in Toronto.
yeah.
I mean,
Ouch.
Well, and that's the other thing. You have a 3-3 week, but that's the thing. You get in a position to win Saturday night, and Craig Kimbrell, who always does what he does, doesn't do what he does.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a second, that doesn't happen very often. Like, it's going to happen. Like, your closer's going to blow a save or two. You can't expect him to go 100%.
Yeah.
But, if you're in position, you lose that one, you come back Sunday and win, looking back at the thing as a whole, you're like, you know what? It could be worse.
And it's signs of a good team.
Yeah.
That can come back after a heartbreaking loss and like avoid the sweep by getting it done in that last game of the division.
Next time you go to Toronto, Craig Kimbrell will be lights out. Like that, it's just that's the way it works.
Well,
so.
I think he's got 4 blown saves this year and 2 or 3 versus Toronto or 2. I'm not sure, but
Well, and then also you had Hanley, who kind of missed that last dig that could have got him into another inning, and he missed that one too. So,
well,
I mean, there was just that was a really tough game to watch because we were ahead 4 runs going into the 8th, and then
Janucci kind of,
and then we lost the 4 runs in the 8th, and then freaking
Poppy.
Ortiz, man, comes up and even with he bounced one off his foot earlier in the game, still hit a home run. And then we kind of
missed the clutch.
That's how Toronto's built, though. Toronto is built to do exactly that, to score runs in a hurry and hit home runs. And Josh Donaldson, you're supposed to hate him because he's good and hateable and he hits home runs. Like that's the way that they're built. So you do that to that team, it's like it's frustrating as hell, but it's gonna happen once or twice.
Yeah, it was kind of a heartbreaker Friday night, right? Too, when he hit that 2-run bomb off of Koji. That was Friday, right? Where Donaldson did, because that looked like a pop fly. That's caught at the track in Boston, and that's like 330 gets it out. I mean, I know there's the pesky pole and everything, and that's the cheapest home run in baseball and all that stuff. It's $2.99, whatever. But then it jets out immediately into one of the deepest right centers there is. I mean, Toronto, they don't even have a big wall out there, and it's only 328. Are you kidding me,
buddy?
It's horrid.
Both teams got to play with it.
Both teams got to play with this.
You could have hit home runs there.
It looked like a pop fly. I was like, all right, there we go, can of corn. And then the thing sailed over the fence. I was like, oh, that hurts. That hurts. Koji came back, though, and nailed down the save today for Clay Buchholz, getting his first W out of the pen.
Yeah. So
what do you have to say about that?
Moving Buchholz to the pen now that he, got beat up the other day on his last start.
He's been getting beaten up pretty frequently.
Yeah, and
long ball.
And I texted you right before he started, and I said, you really, you guys were dogging him on the last couple of shows, and I was trying to say, like, look, he hasn't been terrible in his last couple starts. He's been serviceable, not great starts, but not terrible. Mediocre, hopefully making a turn, and just got blasted. So I think it was like 3 home runs, 6 earned runs, and just all over the place. Like,
so what did we learn, Ben?
So
what did we learn?
Yeah, he stinks.
You can't talk up players because then they're going to go in the tank.
Oh yeah,
Evidently.
Okay.
Evidently, you didn't learn that.
Yeah, no, I guess
to spell it out.
I think I have a pretty consistent streak of doing that on the show
you?
now. Yeah, because
Oh,
I was like, remember when Brock Hull started off wicked hot, and I was like, oh yeah, he's going to be lights out this whole season, and he just started slowly on the decline after that.
Oh boy, and now he's on This is the
God.
DL.
Okay, well, you know who's really going to start to stink now that we move him to the bullpen is Clay Buchholz.
Yeah, I like it. Reverse it up. That'll be awesome.
No, but I think that's a good move for the Red Sox because, I don't know if it's necessarily like he's hurt or like you need to put him on the DL, but he just has this tendency to like have a couple really bad innings during a game and maybe just, throw him in the pen so he just has to just zone in for like 1 or 2 innings. Maybe that'll be good to get his confidence back.
Yeah. And I'm open to the fact that, if anybody has a tough stretch, sit him back there. Because like we were talking about before, there's no 200-inning guys on this squad, besides, Price. So when a guy's going bad, why not throw him in the bullpen and then, release, kind of pause his innings count for a while.
Yeah.
And, try and get him out of the rut.
Well, and the other thing is now we got word, I don't know if it was before or after he got sent to the bullpen, but Eduardo is going to make his first start on Tuesday. So that's going to be, do we really want six guys in the starting rotation? I'm probably not. Now we have 2 games off, I think in the next 2 weeks. So we have a kind of a lighter schedule, I think, going forward. So
that's a guy. We were talking off camera about Carlos Gonzalez trades if the Red Sox want a left fielder.
Oh, boy.
Eduardo's a guy the Rockies would love. They tried hard to get him when he was with Baltimore before the Red Sox got him a couple years ago, and it didn't work out.
You were also saying that Cargo has no trade value.
He doesn't, but if you were willing to give him up,
Yeah.
if the Red Sox needed a left fielder, I
I
would love Eduardo. That guy's going to be a stud.
He is. That's why we wouldn't trade him, and that would be somebody who has trade value. So you were just explaining to me
Buddy.
that Carlos Gonzalez does not have trade value.
You got to give to get.
Can you explain to us and the peeps here why he doesn't have trade value?
Cargo, his contract is up at the end of next year, so
And
he
it's a
doesn't have a
big
lot of
contract.
time. Yeah, it's actually pretty team favorable for what he was doing in his prime. But he's a platoon player. So if you really, really, really need a left fielder and Cargo's the guy, maybe you just suck up and do it and give up a couple mid-level prospects. But
Platoon play, he only hits righties?
yes, he's hitting like 120 against lefties.
Perfect.
But for what you were paying him,
Him
what
and
you
Chris Young, double-headed monster. Patrol and the monster. I
But
like
Chris
it.
Young is already over the hill. Cargo theoretically is not. He's 30 years old. You'd want more value out of a guy like that or to sign him to an extension, but he doesn't hit lefties well enough to deserve the extension that he would want to get based on his previous numbers in Colorado.
Yeah.
He's going to try to command $15 or $20 million a year because of what he's done in Colorado. He's not worth that because he hits 120 against lefties.
So
And
what's he
here's the
making?
reason why they're not going to get Eduardo is because of that reason, right? They're not going to give up somebody because honestly, we don't need another outfielder that bad. We have a couple guys that we can rotate in or out. I don't see it happening for one of our top
A
prospects.
desperate team. If you're the Angels or the White Sox, those teams might get desperate. Yeah. The Angels have no prospects anyway, so the Rockies won't even pick up the phone. But really, the White Sox to me are the team that are like, we need a corner outfielder. This is the guy. But if you're the Red Sox, if you don't need one that badly, you don't. I mean, you already give up a ton of prospects and Kimbrel deal and stuff like that. You don't want to decimate the farm system too much, or else you turn into Anaheim.
It's true. That's why and originally I didn't think Cargo would be an option because I don't want to give up, the Anderson Espinosas of the world, and certainly not Eduardo. But then you kind of piqued my interest because you said that maybe we can get him for Henry Owens, maybe, or
I mean, it'd have to be an and at that point. The Rockies just saying,
Mauricio DeBomb.
That's the thing. You're gonna have to give us a couple people who are high A, double A right now, 20, 21 years old. I mean, whoever it is, mid-level, top 15 prospects kind of deal.
Because it would not surprise me in the least if, Dombrowski makes a trade for a left fielder. Because when you look at where he's got holes, it's like, okay, my best option left fielder right now is a career utility guy who's coming off a concussion, DL.
And isn't he a perfect super utility situation? Don't you Enrique Hernandez him, Brock Holt or whatever, and let him play 8 positions?
Exactly.
Or 7 or whatever. Let him play 7 positions.
Yeah. So and that's like get him at bats every week. Have him play third one week. You can have him play third twice and have Travis play on one of those games. Give Petey a day off. I mean, he's on the wrong side of 30. Give Poppy one off. Have Hinram in the DH slot, stuff like that.
Are we sure Poppy needs a day off?
I mean,
So today he got scratched 30 minutes before the game because of that foul ball off his foot the other day.
Right. That was
so
Saturday,
initially I wasn't
game, right?
worried because he hit the home run at the end of the game, but now I'm hearing today that he had to get scratched because he had some lingering soreness. They say he's going to be okay, but I'm a little worried.
Oof. I'm not. He got scratched because it's a day game after a night game, and he's a veteran who's earned the right not to play in those.
That's true.
He probably showed up to the park and said, I want to play. Or last night he was like, I want to play, put me in the lineup tomorrow. Yeah. And then he showed up and he said, nah.
Monday's a day game, too. I wouldn't be surprised if they keep him out of that, too.
Well, the one thing is that he's had a past of some foot soreness and pain issues. So he's a big guy. He's getting old. Let's make sure that everything's all right before we put him back in. Like I said, we don't really need him right away. We got some flexibility, so
even if you want to put him on a 15-day rip with a foot impingement.
Who starts Monday against them?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because if it's a lefty, then it's a real easy decision to just let him take another day.
Yeah,
I'm
not sure who they got. Who's up for them?
I'll tell you in a second.
Maybe Wright might be up for them. I forget. So, I mean, Buckholz in the bullpen, I guess we were just kind of dismissing it because we always thought, at least Dennis and I, when we were talking last week, it was like he's always been notoriously considered a guy that takes so long to warm up that maybe he wouldn't be an ideal fit for the bullpen. And that probably what they'll end up doing is just DLing him with like a phantom injury. But, well, it won't be the first time we were wrong in this program. So they're going to go to the DL. Any luck, Ben?
Oh man, I got Steven Wright for the Red Sox. I don't know. who's pitching.
Stephen Wright for the Red Sox. Maybe Mike Wright for the Battle of the Wright brothers for Monday's Memorial Day game down at Camden. Hello. Also want to send out some props this week to obviously number 26, Wade Boggs, finally getting his number long overdue retired to the right field facade. You know, I mean, it's about time the third best left-handed hitter in Red Sox history is up there, as he should be.
I grew up on Wade Boggs. I have so many Wade Boggs trading cards. It's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who are your two ahead of him? Teddy Ballgame and
Poppy.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you have it different?
I don't know. Interesting.
I mean, if I need a single, I'd probably go with Wade Boggs. But if I need a homer, I go, yeah, I mean.
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
Wade Boggs, his career like average at Fenway Park is the highest of anybody with over like 200 plate appearances. Guess what it is?
372.
Wow, you're pretty good. 363.
Okay.
So,
But his career slugging percentage is like 401.
710.
Is it? I would say, is it really that high?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking OPS, but no. But and everybody says it, and actually Yaz said it the other night because Yaz was in the booth with Obi and Jerry, and he was saying, yeah, I mean the thing with Boggs was unbelievable. It's like in batting practice, he would just rope him over the bullpen the entire game, the entire batting practice, and then he'd change his swing in the game. You know, and just have 4 hits or whatever. But I can remember that too, because there was one year Boggs was like, all right, I'm going to hit for power this year. And it was like 86, I think. 85, 86, 87, somewhere in there. And he went out and hit 26 bombs and still hit like 301, 302. And then he just didn't like hitting 301 or 302. He likes to be in the 340 range. So went back the next year to hit single-digit homers and hit like 345 or whatever.
Well, it's a testament to the time these guys play too. You know, Ted Williams was above anybody ever at the time. You know, to the time he played, so he was beyond everything. But Boggs played at a time where the home run was just coming into the importance that it has today. Right. You know what I mean? The the Bash brothers in Oakland and stuff. Like Boggs started well before that. Boggs was like a Tony Gwynn kind of thing, and those guys were late 70s, early 80s, mid 80s, and then all of a sudden you got guys who were looking like linebackers at the plate, and it's like, oh, the game is changing. Yeah. You know, so it's kind of a if you were to value Boggs against Ortiz,
that's right.
If you were to value Boggs against Ortiz, like it'd be hard to do. Not only in the context of the game situation, but in the context of what you value on the team. If it's Boggs versus Ortiz in 2016, well, sure, in this game today, you live and die by the home runs. But if you were like, take him to their prime in 1982, in a long run, well, Wade Boggs is probably way more valuable. You know, I don't know.
Here's another question for you. Who can drink?
I think in '82 the performance-enhancing drug of choice was cocaine.
That's the thing. There was rampant.
I mean,
just rampant,
and not quite for home runs. That was more for Rock Rain's steal potential.
Probably why he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and that's sad. He belongs in there.
Yeah,
regardless. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say who can drink more beers in a day, Wade Boggs or David Ortiz?
That's a good question.
I gotta go with Wade Boggs on that.
Okay, but right now, like current day, I mean, prime, of course, Wade Boggs.
Wade Boggs is
Wade Boggs lives in Florida. He's been freaking taking down 30 beers a day since retirement. Okay.
Okay. Well, hey, we'll save that
and
one for
shooting
next
ducks
year. Yeah.
And whatever else.
Who had better facial hair, Wade Boggs or David Ortiz?
I gotta go with Poppy on that.
What? Are you serious?
It's a generational thing, I think.
I mean, he's very well manicured.
No, well,
you would think it would be odd. I would go with that guy.
Yeah, but Wade Boggs had like the legendary, like almost short of like Don Mattingly level, like
Stash.
kind of a stash, man.
Poppy's got the flow rider though. I mean, he's just like he's looking pretty clean. You know?
Yeah.
That's a bad opinion.
Really?
Yeah, that's an incorrect opinion.
That's just like your opinion, man. Oh boy. You know. So let's look at because I mean, when you look down at some of these Red Sox statistics, there's going to be some guys playing for the AL in the All-Star game. I mean, last year our sole representative was a utility man, Brock Holt. This year, we got to have 4 or 5 guys in there representing the Sox.
I don't know. Let's take a look.
So, number one.
Xander's got to be in there.
Xander's a lock. He's the best shortstop in the American
Well,
League.
hold on. No, we're talking about best. We're talking about fan voting. This is the issue. Fan
Let's
voting
talk
is
about
another ballgame.
Well, fan voting is what
yeah.
you need in order to make the.
Well, you got popular guys. You got popular shortstops in the American League, like frickin' Carlos Correa.
yeah, that's the thing.
know?
He might not get the vote, Xander, but he's got the numbers.
Man.
Just make sure you put in your ballot. I
I
like to do it old school, like the Chads at the games.
Yeah, I do like that too.
I wish they would bring that back and not make it totally.
They don't have it at the game still.
No, ever since like starting last year, all online. It's pretty garbage.
Yeah,
Pretty
and you
garbage.
can do like it's like what 5 submissions a day every single day, or something like that.
If you were going just off numbers, I'd say probably 3, maybe 4.
Okay, so Xander,
Xander,
Poppy.
JBJ.
JBJ. As much as I hate to say it, assuming he continues, which he probably will not. And then
Mookie Betts?
I think you take your pick, maybe Pedroia or Travis Shaw, but I don't know about Travis Shaw because there's a lot of third
Second
basemen,
base
I feel
is
like.
Second base is loaded
too.
Yeah,
'Cause
but Pedroia, you have the reputation, the
Yeah.
veteran idea, which may So
Yeah,
What
but
a-
it's
What about Mr.
be
Mookie
interesting.
Betts? I think you're a little bit dismissive because, he's only hitting like 273-ish.
he's only getting on base 32% of the time.
Is
I
that
mean,
true?
that's fine. But when you talk about on this team, you got like 5 guys production wise who are producing at a better clip than he is. That's the only reason why I put guys ahead of him.
Well,
The
it
one
depends on
thing-
like what you look at because like he's right now. I think he's number 1 in runs scored in the AL, and I think he's like number 4 in RBIs.
The thing is, he's not hitting for a high average, but he's got this rare combination of speed and power.
When's the last 30-30 guy in the league? He's going to be a 30-30 guy this year. Has Mike Trout ever gone 30-30?
Is he going to be a 30-30 guy?
He's very
He's
close
got
to on
9
pace.
homers, 8
Yeah.
steals.
Yeah.
9 homers, 8 steals.
he's on track.
That's
What are they? 52 in, 50 in.
almost. I mean, come June 1st, if he's got 10 of each,
You're going to have to be pretty productive,
You know?
though.
He started off slow too.
and he
can heat
hasn't
up.
really hit a Mookie Betts stride just yet.
Not
You know,
yet.
he had kind of a clunker this week. That's why he's only hitting 273. He should be up around 280, but he had like a 0 for 16 stretch this past week that he got out of. But I don't not necessarily signing off right now, but I did want to let the people that are just listening know what you guys Twitter handles are and whatnot, just in case they want to hit you up during the week and be
that'd
like,
be-
"Hey, nice job. Answer this question for next show." Things like that.
Yeah.
So you really want to let them know?
Yeah, sure. My Twitter handle is @BennyFrickinJam, and actually did have a fan reach out to me. Somebody I grew up in Attleboro with on Augsburg Drive.
There you go.
Shout out to the Augsburg Drive crew.
Augsburg.
This was probably a couple weeks ago, and I'll actually bring this up, but he had said, "You know what? I don't want to trade anybody except for John Farrell."
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. He's throwing that out
He
there.
was going real hard, so I don't know if that's still the case. This was a couple weeks back. I haven't been on the
This-
show in a couple weeks,
This,
but
yeah.
Might
he's-
also be a questionable opinion.
Yeah.
Jeez.
yeah.
Well, I mean, you gotta love what they're doing
But yeah,
right
that was Brett Ferruccio from Rugination.
Oh,
so
boy.
Rugination.net, I believe.
Boy,
Wow.
they. I mean, it's a little haphazard, but that is a popular opinion, especially how well Torey Lovello did last
Yeah.
year at the end of the year. So, everybody likes the backup quarterback.
I mean, you traded to get him, you trade him away. It's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did the Red Sox give up when they took Farrell? Who was it?
That is a good question.
Because it was a player. It was a named
player.
player.
Was a
I can't
player.
remember who it was now, though. Which is a weird thing to get effectively traded for a manager as compensation.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm on Twitter @BobbyDeMuro. I will only take prospect questions.
Only prospect.
Only if they're prospects in
That's
the
right.
American or National League
You
West.
might, if you want to read his writing and stuff. Where do they find SB Nation? Who else you write
Purple
for?
Row, a couple different places. You follow me on Twitter, you get it all.
That's it. Follow him on
Talk-
Twitter.
talking to a lot of
He's
minor leaguers.
He's knowing all about the Cal League this year. He's been up and down this fair state, picking apart all the single A guys. You gotta love it. So looking ahead to this next week, we got the Sox. I'll start out with a Memorial Day game at Camden Yards tomorrow in the afternoon, right? 1:35 on Monday. Happy Memorial Day to all the veterans out there tomorrow. And so they'll do 4 at Baltimore, right? And
Yep.
then they host Toronto for 3, so we can
That's
get
right.
right back at these guys.
This is a massive week.
It sure
This
is.
is the kind of week that you look at, and the road trip that branches 2 of our calendar weeks, which is 3 in Toronto and 4 in Baltimore. So take those 7, and if you go 2 and 5, it's like crap. You know, if you go 3 and 4 on the road, I think you're doing pretty damn good. You win 1 or 2, you get swept in Baltimore. That's a real bad road trip.
Yeah, we really got to split in Baltimore and then take 2 out of 3 from Toronto because that one's in Fenway. So
Yep.
it's going to be a 4 and 3 week. You know,
I think if
hopefully.
you have a 4 and 3 week, you're pretty happy, and anything better, you're incredibly happy.
I mean, going through those are the 2
Yeah.
best hitting lineups other than the Sox in the AL East, obviously, but maybe in the AL as well.
And David Price is only going to get 1 shot this week because he started today.
Yeah.
So he's only going to start on
He'll probably be
Thursday
Toronto
or
again,
whatever.
or Friday,
Yeah.
Thursday.
So
The last game in that Baltimore series, but Baltimore would be nice to even take 3 out of 4 from them. They come back to back to earth a little bit now after they had that win streak where they ripped off like 8 straight or something. So it'd be interesting to see because their starting staff is overperformed to this
Yeah.
point. So I'm just waiting for midnight to strike on that and have them plummet back down. And hopefully this is the week for that, kids.
Who are you guys most worried about in the division? Long term, playoff wise, fighting for the division, whatever it is. Who are you most worried about in the division?
For me, it's still Toronto. I mean, their lineup hasn't even started to really hit yet. I mean, outside of Donaldson, but they have some guys that can really explode. I mean, it's kind of interesting. It was an odd to see Bautista hitting leadoff for them.
Yeah. They've got problems. I mean, Tulo's on the DL. Like they're and he wasn't doing well when he was there.
Right.
So,
but they got some pitching that's kind
Yeah.
of stepped up. I mean, Stroman's as good as advertised. Estrada's been great for them.
Yeah.
And J.A. Happ's been pretty good. So they're getting, I guess, more starting than I thought they were going to get. So the fact that their offense hasn't come around yet and they're still kind of sniffing 500, they might be 1 or 2 games under after the loss today, but I think they scare me the most at this point, just because I don't think the Yankees starting staff is going to hold up at all.
Yeah.
But their lineup hasn't hit either. But I think they're relying on a lot of old guys, the Yanks, in the middle of their lineup. with A-Rod, Beltran, and
same story,
Teixeira.
different day.
And I think Beltran's the only one that can still hit. But
Out of the division.
Sabathia's been pretty good for them lately, though.
yeah, that is crazy. And they have the sick bullpen. Out of the division, I think the Royals are a team that hasn't played their best ball yet. And they're kind of poised to make a run. I think
Yeah.
Chicago's for real. I mean, I think
The
they're
White
gonna
Sox,
be there.
really?
Yeah.
Wow. I will disagree with you 100% on that.
Really?
Yes.
But they got Matt Latos.
I
And I
think-
know you were a big fan of his last year.
I think they have huge pitching problems besides Chris Sale, who's like, the AL's Kershaw.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
He's sick. But you don't think Rodon is any good?
No, I like Rodon. I just don't think he's good, experienced good to the point where he can impact a playoff race. Like, give him another year or 2 to do that.
Right.
But I think Rodon's going to be pretty damn good.
It is going to be good.
The other team I like, and nobody likes them, but like, if the Angels could
Texas.
just Texas maybe, but if the Angels could just figure it out.
What are you talking about?
No
What is there to
way.
figure? Like who strikes fear in you in that lineup? Like besides Trout and Pujols,
Cole
who can pitch
Calhoun?
around. Cole Calhoun would be the third. But
you
other
go.
than that, they have like 6 guys that really can't hit. Who Johnny Giavatello is going to back
No.
up Pujols in the
No,
lineup?
but look, I mean that if everyone is healthy, they have a pretty good starting rotation with some of these dudes. Hector Santiago's incredibly underrated.
I'll give you that.
Thank
but
you.
Richards is hurt,
He is hurt. That's correct.
and he's their best pitcher. Weaver can't break a pane of glass.
I'm not worried about Weaver.
I mean, I don't know. They're hurting.
The AL West isn't good though. A lot of people are struggling.
The
in the AL
Rangers,
West.
especially now that Darvish is back, the Rangers are going to take over Seattle, and they're going to be the tough team to come out of there.
Let's see it happen because I've never been a believer in Seattle.
Yeah.
So I think that's always been a mirage.
Not a believer in Seattle, but still a believer, right? Just don't.
They also
What?
they also picked up Big Game Timmy, I think.
Big game, Timmy.
Game changer.
Tim Salmon? What?
No, Lincecum.
Oh, that's right.
He's in Salt Lake this week.
Oh,
That was a
man.
great deal for them, though. Seriously, a great deal for them. They had nothing to lose there.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you got nothing to lose.
And he
but,
wasn't going to leave the West Coast, so that's, I think, probably,
I
pretty
don't
easy.
think anybody else wanted him though.
you know, and the Angels, it's not like they're going to be able to make a trade. They don't have anything
They
to
have
offer.
nothing in the minor leagues.
And
That's the problem. If you were in the hunt, like, and you wanted to make a trade for something, like, what would you do? You have literally nothing in the minor leagues to offer. And
Nothing.
And the few prospects they had, they traded inexplicably for an all-glove, no-hit shortstop.
that was a bizarre trade.
Bizarre trade.
Yeah.
Because you're more than that away from, contending. That's kind of a luxury move you make if, like, all right,
Well, the story here is the Braves. The Braves got the better of that deal. The Braves got the better of the Shelby Miller deal. The Braves now have decided they're not going to trade these guys for prospects anymore because they have so many freaking prospects. So they have like Julio Teheran and these like decent youngish pitchers.
they're going to trade Tehran.
Ooh,
They literally
yes.
came out today and said they are not going to trade Tehran.
Really?
Of course they
Now
did.
that could be smoke and mirrors, but
okay.
they said they are not going to trade Tehran for
They're
prospects.
just trying to get the price up.
Yeah,
They could.
he's
They
the
could.
hottest. He's the hottest trade rumor I've heard about.
Yeah,
But to
The
me,
Red Sox are going to have to give up a lot to get him.
they would.
Yeah.
to
And
me,
I
he's
think it's
young.
going to be too much. I don't want it.
He's young enough where you could still build a core and have him be a part of it if you're the Braves. Because they have guys like Dansby Swanson now, who's like a year and a half away. Like, you don't have guys who are as far away as, getting 18-year-olds in these deals.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
They're
The
gonna
Braves
turn
are
around.
real, real bad now, and they could be real, real good in about 2 years.
That's interesting because a few days ago their only untouchable was Freddie Freeman, but now it's
I don't know why it would have been Freddie.
Tehran. Yeah, me neither. Really, they seem in love with that guy. I think he's a Georgia kid, so they want to keep him around.
And they did that with Hayward for a while, too. They did it with Frank Coor for too long. Like, they love those local guys. I get it, but,
Yeah.
I mean, Craig Kimbrell was a local dude. He was an Alabama guy, and they just unceremoniously were like, no, we can get something for you.
Oh yeah,
Well,
I mean, once it became a fire sale, it was
Yeah.
just like, how much can you get? Are you now? I don't know if you've been privy to the voyage of Rusney Castillo, but the Red Sox signed him to a 7-year, $72 million deal, and now he's hitting like I don't know, 250 in Pawtucket. But even they brought up Swihart, a catcher, to play left field when Brock Holt went on the DL instead of bringing this kid up, and he's hitting 500 at the major league level this year.
just
2 for 4.
1 for 2, 2 for 4. Just gotta give him a little time. I mean, they're gonna give him a lot of time because of the deal.
It's gonna take a little time.
It's
A little time.
here's the deal with somebody like Rusney. When the Dodgers do this and they sign,
Got nowhere left to hide.
can we cut off your mic?
Sorry, yeah.
When the Dodgers do this and they sign 15 of these guys, and they sign Arui Baruena and Alex Guerrero and all these guys, it's like when one busts and the next one, succeeds, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. But when you sign one of them and the profile is higher, 7 years, $72 million in the grand scheme of things in Major League Baseball, $10 million a year is not
Is nothing,
crippling at all.
Yeah.
But when the profile's higher and it's the only one you've done like this,
Well,
pressure's
we
there.
still got Yon down in Single A Salem.
But that's a different thing. That's a much younger guy who you're developing.
Right.
Rusney was a better guy who you expected more of immediately.
That's why you got to
That's the
stay away
difference.
from those guys, because they're not.
You say that, but Jose Abreu,
That's
White
true.
Sox signed Jose Abreu for like $63 million, and that dude's. I mean, I would give anything for that dude.
That's true.
That guy's a stud. So I don't know. It's
hit and miss.
You just need better development and better player development and scouting in Latin America for that. The Dodgers do it really well. A couple other teams done it really well. And you just hope if you're like the Red Sox or somebody that you have enough information on a guy, and when you pull the trigger, it's the right guy. The good news is you're not the Tampa Bay Rays. If the Tampa Bay Rays had given Rusney Castillo $72 million, or another small market team, the Rockies, man, it would have been game
They'd be
over.
crippled.
You would be
Yeah.
crippled from
They would
something
never
like
do
that.
that.
You couldn't. But if you're the Red Sox, as much as it would hurt, you string him along for the next 3 years. If he keeps hitting 250 in AAA, eventually you say, darn it,
Darn it.
and you just
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah.
So
Nice. Well, gang, we're going to sign off. Sox still playing well. We hope they keep it rolling this week, especially in Baltimore as they face the hated Orioles. Hopefully we can get a few down there and get back on a winning track. Hopefully we're talking about the Sox having a winning track, winning record next week. I won't be here, but there'll be somebody here talking Red Sox. For Ben Fay and Bobby DeMuro, I'm Mike Conley. This has been another edition of Red Sox Wrap 360. Thank you, Sox fans. Go Sox. Free Tom Brady.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.